Hello and welcome to the Anglo Gers Podcast with me, your host, Owen David. Guys, it is fantastic to be here. Please remember to hit that sub, ring that notification bell and give this video a like. It really does help as we build this new Rangers podcast channel up, bringing you daily updates, daily news, daily views, podcasts, live streams, all stuff to do with Glasgow Rangers. So please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. That would be fantastic if you could help out by doing that. Anyway, so we're looking ahead to the big game on Sunday where Rangers take on our arch rivals Celtic in the Viaplay League Cup final at Hampden Park. It's going to be a tricky game, an intense game, as all old firm clashes are. Whatever happens on Sunday, and I really do hope that obviously we hammer Celtic or at least beat them. This is not Michael Beale's Rangers team, is it yet? It is not really his team. He is basically managing them through at the end of the season. He's said as much, and he needs obviously that summer transfer window to come and to be able to, bring in his own players, bring in the players that he wants to, and really shape the team, in his image. Obviously, he's already proved that he's got that bit of spark, bit of needle against Celtic with his comments around Chris Sutton, which were hilarious. The fact that he, without actually directly naming him, called him the worst striker in Chelsea's history, and along with other things like a clown. Then obviously the press conference during the week where him and the Celtic manager Ange, whatever he's called, Postecoglou, sat next to each other and didn't look very happy indeed, like two boxers that really don't like each other. I think there's definitely a bit of needle there. Respect, yes. Needle, absolutely. As Barry Ferguson himself said midweek when he was asked about the incident, and he talked about the fact that when he was at Rangers and coming up against Martin O'Neill's Celtic, he really couldn't stand the sight of the man. It was nothing personal. It was all purely professional. So again, it's a massive tie, a huge tie, and obviously, I think Celtic this season they've been obviously used to having things their own way. They've been a bit of a 60-minute team, haven't they? They don't have to play for 60 minutes against most of the SPL opponents. They get 2-3 goals up and then take the last half an hour of the game off. Something obviously they're not going to be able to do against Rangers this Sunday. Rangers are going to be in their face, they'll put them under pressure, and that's what we need to do from the off. Really get at them, run at them. They're not used to that. They're not used to teams taking the game to them. They're not used to teams running at them, and they don't like it. You've only got to look back at the New Year's Day game. I know it ended in a draw, but Rangers were the better team, and I think again by getting at Celtic, really going at them, that shows their back four is not absolutely amazing. Their back four is not the best in Scotland. That's Rangers. We can get at them, and they are get-attable. And I think we have the players, definitely, in my opinion, to really put them under pressure. Obviously, you look back across the Scottish League Cup finals across the years, Rangers with 27 wins to Celtic's 20, so we're still 7 ahead of them. And so not only do we dominate them in terms of league titles, we also dominate them in terms of league cups. I know Celtic have won 5 of the last 6 league cups. Their most recent meeting between us and them was on the 2019-2020 when we lost 1-0 to them at Hampden Park. That was a bit of a get our fingers burnt when we really were going for it. Obviously, last time we beat Celtic in the League Cup final was 2010-2011, a 2-1 win at Hampden Park back then in front of 51,181 spectators. It was a tough game after extra time there, that game. Goals from Davis and Jelavic, as you remember them. The Rangers team that day: Neil Alexander, Stephen Whittaker, Davy Weir, great player, Majid Bagheera, Sasa Papic, and Stephen Naismith, Morris Edu, Stephen Davis, Greg Wild, Kyle Lafferty, and Nikita Jelavic. A great team. And Alan McGregor, who's still there today, was on the bench for Rangers that day. So, but all in all, this is going to be an intense game, a tough game. And I've got no doubt in my mind that if Rangers play to the fullest of their capabilities, they play to the fullest of their talents with the players that we've currently got in the team, this team is more than capable of, taking Celtic and putting Celtic to the sword. Like I said to you, Celtic are not used to teams going at them. They're not used to teams having a go at them. They're used to getting it all their own way, and they have pretty much done in the Scottish Premiership this season. But certainly, Rangers are certainly not going to let that happen under any circumstances whatsoever. Obviously, there are some fitness doubts over key players like the likes of Malik Tillman and Kamar Roof and Ryan Jack. But there's a lot of selection issues there. John Lundstrom also issues over his fitness as well. Obviously, and Philip Helander, who is out long term. But it's still a strong team no matter what, and I think as Michael Beale talked during the week, didn't he? He talked about the fact that he's going to leave it very much up to the guys themselves to say whether they're fit, whether they're ready to go on Sunday. And, that obviously includes the likes of Jack and Tillman and Lundstrom, Cantwell and all those players like that. And I think come Sunday morning, I think you'll find that a lot of them will declare themselves fit and ready to go. I really do think that is a proper opportunity. There is obviously a lot of talent in this Rangers squad at this moment in time, a real load of talent. Now, what team do I think he'll put out there? Well, obviously, I think you've got to obviously say Alan McGregor in goal. McGregor is still, even at 41 years old, the best keeper at this club by an absolute street. I know John McLaughlin, the goalkeeper, the reserve keeper is decent. He's solid, but he's certainly not in the same class as Alan McGregor, who was inducted even, to the Hall of Fame this week. And, I think Alan McGregor obviously will go down as probably the greatest Rangers goalkeeper of all time. And that's pretty high praise given the fact that, there's the likes of Stefan Klos, Chris Woods, one of my all-time favourites, Andy Gorham as well. But, Alan McGregor is certainly, one of, if not the top goalkeepers in this club's history. Obviously, back four, there is some interesting selections. Obviously, I think that will be a very solid back four. With Tav, Davis, Goldson and Barisic. I think that pretty much picks itself. Those four guys will be the solid back four. And I think, there you've got more than enough talent there, more than enough capability to deal with whatever Celtic have got to throw at Rangers. There is a lot of talent there. Goldson and Davis absolutely rock solid in the middle. Tav, he's just Tav, isn't he? He's fantastic. I know that, again, another Hall of Fame inductee this week. Some fans criticise him. Yeah, he's not your archetypal right back, but he has been a quality servant for the club. And Borna Barisic, obviously, absolute quality left back as well. So that'll be the back four, in my opinion. And I think that is more than enough to cope with whatever Celtic have got to throw at Rangers. You've got the two to hold, who I think obviously, will be. Now, this is where the interesting dilemma could come as to who will hold for in front of that back four. Now, if fit, I think Lundstrom will play there. If not, you've got Kamara, you've got Jack, if fit as well. Personally, I would love to see these two. Obviously, I think Raskin and Lundstrom would be great to be the two holders in front of that back four. Raskin is just, for me, he's a bundle of energy. He takes the ball, he gives it, he goes forward, he passes it forward, he wants to get the ball forward to those attacking players. He's not a crab, he doesn't pass it sideways, doesn't turn it back. He's very much a forward-thinking player, and he's a bundle of energy. He likes to tackle as well, which obviously in an all-firm game we're going to need plenty of. And I think, Lundstrom is just rock solid there, if fit, of course. That is going to be, the situation. I think he has to really come in and play. But again, like I said, Michael Beale is very much leaving it down to Lundstrom himself to see whether he is fit or not. If not, I think you could expect either Ryan Jack, or you could, if he's fit, or Glenn Kamara to play there. It very much depends, obviously, on Lundstrom's fitness. But I really do hope that Lundstrom is fit. I think Lundstrom and Raskin definitely give us the best opportunity to really quell Celtic's attacking threat. Now, obviously, going three behind the front striker, I think you've got to go with Sakala, with Tillman if fit, and obviously Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent, seems to be more settled under this manager. I think, he had a situation where he wasn't perhaps as happy under Gio. He is more happy now, and we're starting to see a bit of the old Ryan Kent. So I think, Kent, he's got to play. Tillman, if fit again, and I think that's a big one. We obviously need waiting to see and waiting to find out what the situation is with Malik Tillman. He makes such a difference to this team, doesn't he? The skill, the style, the passing ability, the attacking threat. He is absolute quality, and he can run a game on his own. Obviously, Bayern have revealed as well this week they're willing to sell him. The £6.2 million buyout clause on his contract, though, may be a little bit of an issue for the club at this moment in time, but who knows? And Sakala, obviously, the right winger, I think, brings speed, he brings directness, he brings quality to this team. And I think he will obviously be there. Now, obviously, who starts up front? I think Alfie has got to be the favourite at this moment in time. Alfie, when he started against Celtic, I don't think has been on a losing team since 2019. But it's going to come down to a choice with Alfie and Kamar Roof. Roof obviously scored in last time out, but obviously again has declared that he is actually not 100% fit at this moment in time and has an injury doubt. It's something that really has held Roof back. So I think a lot will depend on whether Kamar Roof is fit. So it'll be a direct choice between Alfie and Kamar. I think the manager will go with experience, and he will go with Alfredo Morales up front to start the game at least, and hoping that Roof will be on the bench. But you look at that and you think about that, and you think about that team, and it still gives us some real talent on the bench there, doesn't it? It gives us, if he's not obviously not playing. You've got Jack, you've got Kolak, you've got Cantwell. There's some absolute talent on that bench, and Kamar Roof, obviously, if he doesn't start, there is some absolute talent going to be on that bench. And I think the benches will have a role to play in this game because of the fact I think it will go the distance. And it's a lot of the time in modern football, isn't it? It's the bench that has the impact, and bringing players off the bench can really change a game. And I think Rangers have definitely got some game changers on that bench with the players they have. Set pieces will play a big part, I think, in the final. Obviously, Rangers have improved their defending of set pieces, but it's still something they need to work on. But also, I think under Michael Beale, the delivery and the quality of set pieces the other way has vastly improved as well, and will pose Celtic a major threat on Sunday. So, guys, I think it's going to be a really tough game. I think it's going to be a fight, a battle. But if Rangers play as well as they can play, and if these guys come out, particularly these attacking players here, come out and really play to the fullest of their capabilities, if Malik Tillman is fit, I think it really does give Rangers an opportunity to go out there and win this final on Sunday. I'm going to go for 2-1 Rangers as the final. So that's my prediction. Anyway, guys, let me and keep so you don't miss out on any of the daily news, views, and updates from the Anglo Gers podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like. Let's hope that we can smash Celtic on Sunday.